Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the 30 Days of Transformation. Today, we're going to talk about awakening your inner power. This is something that I think is very important because most people on this journey don't own their power, and most people are afraid of their power. They're afraid that if they have that kind of power, that it might be used for not the good of something good. A lot of people think it comes across as ego, and they reject that side of themselves. Hey, Sarah, welcome. Good to see you on the other side there, dear. So if you guys are just joining me, I'm just starting a journey, a series of 30 days of transformation, and it's a journey to your true self. So my goal is to show up and share tips, tools, techniques, and things that I've experienced and helped others with so that you can step into that higher version of yourself. Hello, dear. So one of the things I want to point out here is when oh, good, thank you, Sarah. Um, have you ever, first of all, if you're following me on this journey, please let me know. I'd love to know if you're following me, and let me know what you're doing to connect to your true self and what it means to also be in alignment with your true self. We hear a lot of this buzzword these days of true self, true self, true self. And which, by the way, just really quick, I just realized I don't have my mic up here where it should be for my computer. And so I'm going to adjust that. See, this is a piece, I think, of being your true self is showing up in motion, showing up on the go, being super authentic, to not get it together to do it, but do it and get it together doing it, as I'm always saying. But to realize and recognize, as I say this is just dropping in, a piece of being in your true power of your true self is recognizing your vulnerabilities and recognizing your ability to be open, raw, and real, and very vulnerable. Because I know for me, a lot of times I didn't feel like I was in my power. And some people give their power away to other people. Some people are afraid of their own power, but then there are people like with myself. If you guys have followed me very long, I say I come from this backwards for most of you. My thing is I felt like I was in so much power that coming into the state of vulnerability felt powerless and felt very vulnerable, in a sense that I didn't want to be that open. But when you can truly come into the place of allowing yourself to feel things, be very vulnerable, be very open, be very transparent, be very humble, and to step into a place that there is more power technically in showing that side of yourself to people, that's a real version of you that we don't even want to see ourselves sometimes. But anyway, back to what I was about to ask you and say to you is, what does it mean? And maybe, Sarah, you can answer this for yourself, and I can bring that into topic here. What does it mean to you to tap into your power? And not only just tap into your power, but what does power mean to you? Do you feel like you own your worth? Do you feel like you own your confidence? Do you have a good self-esteem? Do you feel inner strength, security, stable, and secure? These are power words. These are the power inside of us to know that we are the universe and that the universe resides in us. And that when we can own this inner power of our power, then we come into a place of feeling stable, secure, and strength. And we don't feel lost, so to speak. We don't feel like we need separate from ourselves. We search outside of ourselves for somebody else to do these things for us, or to take care of us in certain ways that only we can do from within. And that's even down to being a healer or going somewhere to be healed. Because sometimes people give their power away to other people, thinking somebody else is going to heal them. And I always say, it's not like your action that you take, it's your intention behind it. And you can't fake energy. So if you have a fear of, um, say, needing some assistance, and you seek outside of yourself for whatever that is to basically try to overcome the fear, try to avoid the feeling, so to speak, but you're seeking outside of yourself, and that can even be love, and especially, in this twin flame journey. I am finding that, the problem with this is going to continue. And hey, so Sylvia, continue in this place until we come into the ability to own all of our parts, our aspects of our shadow self, meaning we don't judge who we are or judge those around us. And even if we don't think we're judgmental, sometimes underneath of that, what we think about other people is really people in their power, and we judge it because we don't feel that within ourselves. And so Jeremiah says that the beauty of what we do is to inspire folks that know their true self. In a very bad situation, in 2 days, you're gonna be with no job. Okay, that will definitely give you this sense of feeling powerless, right? But what if you restructure that mindset and start to believe, well, maybe the universe is figuring this out for me. There's a divine design, and maybe there's a better job waiting on me. But we hold on to these parts of ourselves that we don't want to let go of, and that means we also sometimes hold on to the things around us that we don't want to let go of. A job, a relationship, I mean, that list can go on and on. And then we give our power to it because we feel like we need it before we can come into a sense of happiness or a sense of peace. And so I really feel like it's going to be important for you to, if you come into your true self, that you really own your power. You own yourself. You come into a sense of feeling confident. So maybe as, mindset shift, you can start to reprogram your self-esteem, your value of yourself. Start to use affirmations that help reprogram the old programs that, maybe still running in your unconscious. I talked about that yesterday. So if you have not got plugged into yesterday's, when I talked about being able to step into a sense of freedom, that piggybacks this. And also, if you've not got plugged into my YouTube channel or any other platform that you're following me on, if you follow me, make sure to, follow, and you can get plugged into this series. But if you really want to know that you get notified, you can go into YouTube, you can become a subscriber, and you hit the notification bell, and it will notify you whenever I schedule these and when I come live. As I mentioned, if you're just joining, today is day 2 of day 30 days of transformation, where I'm going to be helping to share tips, tools, and techniques on your journey to your true self and help you. The goal is that we all come into a higher version of ourselves over the next 30 days. And if you really want to take a quantum leap in that, and you really want to dive deep into understanding this gap of who you've been that you need to let go of, as I'm talking about, and maybe even the things around you, and also into who you're becoming, the retreat coming up in April, the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat, that's going to be something that my partner Jeremiah and I are going to be facilitating here in Sedona. And you can get plugged in. The link's going to be in the description above or below. And on Instagram, you can find that link in my bio there. But I'd like to hear from a few people here, if you would. What actions are you taking? What, I should say, aligned actions are you taking to own your power without judging it, without rejecting it, without being afraid of it? And then obviously, what also could you maybe do, another side of that is, where are you giving your power away? Are you allowing people to basically project onto you? Are you still trying to be a people pleaser? Are you still maybe even on this twin flame journey and connected to this one person and have this feeling, if I don't have them, there will be no one else? that is giving your power away, that you determine what kind of experience you want, what kind of relationship you want, and to know that you can create that, but you create it from within yourself first, and that you basically become the one that you want to attract in that. So it's super important to dedicate some time for self reflection and to get to know who it is that you want to be. Get to know who it is that maybe you don't even know you want to be, but who you are now. Because I can promise you that through this journey, we've evolved and changed so much. And that's one reason why at the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat we have coming up in April is all about rejuvenation. And that's why the title has got the rejuvenation. We have done so much work that has been so exhausting. And I don't know about you, if you're one of those people and you've been really exhausted from this journey, um, tell me. Tell me maybe what it is that you need and your soul's calling for that would help you create more of a sense of inner peace. Most importantly, though, as I mentioned earlier, is to help you come into an inner strength. And in that inner strength, be able to come to a sense of balance and a sense of understanding and a sense of trust in yourself. So I think a piece of this, for you to come into your inner strength and your inner power, you really have to come into this place of trust, trusting yourself, your journey, and that takes some time to get to know, like, who you are now and who you want to be or who you're actually becoming in the process. And then to start to take the aligned action that helps put you into alignment with the version of you that's really trying to come in. I'd love to hear if any of you have different techniques you're using in order to get to know that version of you. A lot of people are stuck in the gap. I talked about this yesterday. They're in not where they used to be, and they're not where they want to be. But in between that, it's like most people like, well, I don't know what's next. You can't see what's next, and that puts you in a state of fear, which helps bring up a lot more of your ability to learn how to trust yourself in your journey and your even your gifts, your intuition, because that's another thing about coming in and awakening your power, is to know how powerful you are from a place of your intuition and cultivating that intuition to where you can learn how to listen to your inner guidance, your inner direction, your inner voice, and to know that you learn in that process that you know and recognize that part of you. Because I also find in this giving power away, sometimes people, even on the spiritual journey, they don't recognize and realize they're giving their power away when they're constantly putting everything outside of them is being created outside of them, and not realizing that the reflection of what's around you is what you are creating through what's going on inside of you, and to take responsibility for that, and to realize if you don't like what's going on around you, then only you can change that. So how are you going to change that? How are you going to show up, and what actions and intentional and aligned actions you're going to take? And another thing that's coming through as I say this, we're put to so many different experiences. I mentioned this yesterday. We're put through so many different experiences that is creating the scenarios we need to learn how to connect to these parts of ourselves that we have denied or we've never awakened yet. But that's teaching us how to communicate. That's teaching us how to stand up, show up, and speak up for ourselves in ways that have been dormant, or maybe we've never learned how to communicate how we feel in those areas of our life. I know that's been something I've worked on a lot lately. And I also got to tell you, there's this sense of power in me that's waking up inside of me. And it has been for a while, but I call it Kali energy because I've had these experiences I'm talking about show up in my life or on my path of some people that have really like hit these spots in me to awaken a side of me that has never existed before, in a sense of this um, power inside that says, no, you don't have the right to have that control over me, or to tell me who I could be or what I can do, or that you're going to project your crap onto me. And for me, not just to take it, but to stand up and speak up for myself and to say, no, this doesn't, I don't agree with this, and you don't have this right to do this. And I've been put into two scenarios just kind of recently, in the last maybe month or something, that's been pretty impactful ones. And they've been so impactful that it's left imprints on me to recognize and to embrace and to not judge that part of me. To know that if I feel this way, it's okay to get upset, because I was the person that never knew how to get upset. I was the person that never even knew how to get angry, and it would shut all negative emotions off. But what people don't get is it's the spirit, and I should say it's the saint and the shadow that equal God, that equal all that is. And if we aren't coming into the saint side of us and honoring, accepting, and embracing and embodying our shadow side, our emotions that um, we've never expressed, maybe, then we're not whole and we're not complete. And we got to wake that up inside of us. And so these scenarios are coming through to help wake up your power, your strength. And that's why, even if, say, for instance, if you might lose a job, or you're put in positions to learn like how to be strong and how to be the creator inside. Speaking of affirmations, there are two that are coming through right now. One is based on the power side of this. There's an affirmation that came through for a client, I don't know, in the past, and it's coming through now, that it is, let's see, my power is safe, and it is safe to use my power. Now, I want you to listen to that. My power is safe, because sometimes we're robbed of that power. So my power is safe, and it is safe to use my power. That is something you can think about on the duality of both aspects of this that can exist, that you need to bring balance to yourself from both sides. And then on the flip side of that, something I've been using in this is the universe is my provider, because a lot of people on this journey are seeking outside of themselves for the power they need to wake up inside themselves, for the things they need to feel safe, secure, stable. And a lot of that's even financial stuff. But if you don't feel safe, secure, and stable, there's no amount of money that's going to give you that. And there's no person that's going to provide that for you, no matter what your needs are. It's you learning how to feel secure, safe, and strong inside of yourself that is going to then awaken and erupt the empowerment that you need to be your highest version of your true self in embodiment of your full power. And I've worked with people that even just hate that word power or reject the word power, but it's because of rejecting a part of you that is inside of you that needs to wake up and to be embodied and to be accepted, because it's from the place of power that you're going to gain your greatest strength. But not only that, I want to recap this because there's maybe some new people here. Power just doesn't always mean being what we consider strong. It's in our vulnerability that is our greatest strength, that gives us our greatest amount of power. And learning how to tap into that side of ourselves and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and realize and recognize that doesn't always mean you're weak and a wimp, because you aren't strong, or you are very maybe even emotional or vulnerable, and then judging that side of you. So start to do the self-reflection, pay attention to how you're treating yourself. If you want a quantum leap to get through this gap of where you've been to who you're becoming and stop being stuck, but do it from a place of grace, ease, and flow, and rejuvenate yourself without having to go through all of this cycle of repeated patterns and sabotage and doing it thinking you have to keep doing all this like work that we're trying to get out of the working aspect to the being aspect, then I highly recommend and invite you to attend my beloved Jeremiah and myself at the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat coming up April 4th through 7th. And you can find the link in the above or below or on Instagram there. You can find it in my bio. So I send you guys so much love. And again, this is day 2, which is awakening your inner power. And I'd love to hear from either any of you that have been here or anybody that's watching this in the future to let me know how you are coming into alignment with your inner power, your inner strength, and maybe some tips, tools that you're using to do that. Or what are you doing that is not allowing you yourself to embody that side of yourself? What are you rejecting? And to go in and spend some reflection time to get to know that side of you and get to integrate with that side of you, because a lot of people have done the work. They're just still going through an integration process to bring all of these pieces together. And a piece of that is getting super clear on who you want to become now and who you want to be and what kind of life you want to have and getting clear on that. So I'll see you tomorrow. And again, check out the links above and below. And don't forget, if you want to follow this whole series, go over to YouTube and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that will notify you. And you can get plugged into the playlist there to notify you when I come live over the next 30 days. And I will see you tomorrow. And you have a great, great night. Okay. Loads of love.